I'm sorry for serving you something that didn't taste good. I promise not to make it again, but no matter what I prepared, he always found something to criticize. I reached my breaking point and decided to divorce and leave the house. Then something unexpected happened with my husband and our eldest son. When a woman gets married, her identity often fades behind her husband's name. My name is Emma, but at work and in the neighborhood, I'm known as Mrs. Taylor, even at the daycare and school. That's how they refer to me. I wouldn't mind if my husband called me by my first name, but he only addresses me with a casual, hey. Throughout our marriage, I've always called him Gordon, even now at 50, but it seems he doesn't take the hint. At 53, Gordon, who works for a transportation company, used to deliver goods to the deli where I'm employed. Our relationship began with friendly chats in the store, and we grew close. It felt romantic at first, but married life turned out to be far from a fairy tale. Gordon, often using work as an excuse, never helped with household chores. Even though I worked full-time at the deli, I wasn't a stay-at-home mom. I was juggling everything. We have our eldest son, Mark, and Gordon hardly contributed to his upbringing. Society praises men for simply playing catch with their kids, while women work tirelessly from dawn until dusk, managing the household without any acknowledgement. Isn't it oppressive that mothers are expected to naturally take care of their children? Mark was a good kid until high school, but since joining the workforce, he's become sarcastic, especially in the last 2 years. After he got his current job, he started coming home late and has become increasingly dismissive. Yet, for some reason, he and Gordon get along well. Sometimes they even team up to mock me. Mark, what kind of job do you have now? I asked. I work for an ID company. There are many types of ID companies, right? Why not explain? I prompted, but he smirked, clearly annoyed. You wouldn't understand anyway. Perhaps at 20, he feels it's unnecessary to go into detail with his mom. Sometimes his attitude makes me furious, and I worry I'm failing as a mother. There's a term called unconditional love. When Mark was a baby, I felt an overwhelming love for him. Just looking at his sweet, sleeping face filled me with a sense of purpose. But now, as I watch him become the sarcastic young man, my unconditional love wavers. I find myself yearning for something in return from both Gordon and Mark. 2 years into my marriage, each day has been filled with sighs, and I can't say I've been truly happy. About 2 years ago, Gordon and Mark started to unite in criticizing my cooking. I can't fathom why my culinary skills would suddenly decline. I've always prioritized nutrition, carefully planned meals, and considered their favorite dishes. Planning meals is a challenge enough, but facing constant criticism is disheartening. Tonight, I made Gordon's favorite Chinese stir-fry, thinking he might appreciate it. Gordon yelled, "What is this? It's too salty." "You said it was bland yesterday," I shot back. "Can't you find some middle ground? It's always one extreme or the other with you." Yet, he continued to eat, leaning back dramatically, exclaiming, "So salty." Mark remained silent, just chewing away. "How about you, Mark?" I asked. Frequent dinners at upscale restaurants with my boss had turned me into a bit of a gourmet. Everything tasted exquisite to me, but I couldn't help but worry about any woman who might marry such a sarcastic man, even if he is my son. Amidst Gordon's complaints, both he and Mark finished their meals, leaving me feeling overwhelmed and stressed. In need of relief, I decided to have dinner with my best friend, Juliet, on my day off. Like me, Juliet is 50 and went through a divorce 2 years ago. Her ex-husband never helped around the house yet had the audacity to point out a dirty window or some dust. I still remember how Juliet snapped, claiming she once hit him on the head with a hanger. Talk about guts. As we vented about Gordon and Mark, Juliet's anger flared as if it were her own. "Why don't you just tell him to cook for himself and hit him with a frying pan?" she suggested, only half jokingly. "I can't say that," I replied, imagining Gordon stubbornly insisting on cooking for me, likely realizing the challenges of the kitchen. "I wouldn't trust anything Gordon made," I admitted, sharing my genuine concern. "Since becoming single, I've noticed a surge in attention at work. It's your life. Are you living just for your husband and kids?" Juliet questioned, radiating confidence. "You're only 50, Emma." "I'm already 50, don't give up because of age. 50 is when life truly begins." Her words struck a chord. Male colleagues have been asking me out for dinner lately, perhaps because I'm now single. If a guy is also single, it doesn't seem to be an issue. Juliet, with her bright aura, embodies confidence and positivity. She's the perfect mother and wife, someone who puts her kids first, her husband second, and herself last. I ponder whether that's right. Society's norms aren't always correct, Juliet said. Before being a mother or a wife, you were an individual. Life's more fun when you live for yourself. Her insight caught me off guard. "You're intense," I chuckled. "Don't call me intense, I'm just normal," she shot back. Dinner time is always tense for me. In most households, it's a moment of family bonding and happiness. Yet, I felt my disappointment swelling as I tried to suppress my emotions, realizing even Mark's favorite curry rice wouldn't escape Gordon's criticism. I tentatively asked Mark, "Is it too sweet for you?" "I prefer spicy or medium spicy, but more importantly, I know this amazing curry place," he replied. It didn't seem fair to compare a home-cooked meal to a dish from a Michelin-starred chef. Cooking shouldn't just be about enduring Gordon's harsh words and Mark's sarcasm without consideration for my feelings. Gordon sighed. "Oh, my mom's curry rice was the best, just like home." I wanted to suggest he have his mother cook for him every day, but I held back, fearing it would only escalate the arguments. While helping a customer at work, my manager, Mr. Smith, complimented me. "Mrs. Taylor, your customer service is always so cheerful and genuine. It's really great." "Thank you so much." His words held power. Even a single compliment could lift my spirits. Good customer service is essential. Pleasant staff encourage customers to return. Despite each deli claiming to offer unique items, they all seem to sell similar products. Naturally, if prices are the same, people prefer the store with better service. Mr. Smith, 54 and single, didn't appear to be divorced, nor did he seem opposed to marriage. Standing tall at 6 feet, he exuded charm and was a true gentleman, especially appealing to the younger female staff. Being single in your 50s didn't diminish attractiveness. Perhaps his standards were exceptionally high, or maybe he had once experienced a passionate love affair that lingered in his memory. His mysterious aura only fueled rumors, making him even more intriguing to the ladies. Mr. Smith treated me, a 50-year-old, with the same warmth he showed to women in their 20s. Such a gentleman. I couldn't help but wonder how Gordon and Mark acted at work. If Mark made the same snide remarks to his colleagues that he did at home, he'd definitely be the talk of the office. I felt a pang of worry about Gordon, especially when it came to those dreaded dinner times. As I got home, I found Gordon and Mark glued to the TV, engrossed in a show about family restaurant staff competing with their best dishes, judged by renowned chefs. As I casually watched, Gordon quipped, "Doug, have you ever thought about going on that show?" "Why would I do that?" "Just to bomb spectacularly," Mark chimed in, laughing at his father's joke. "They'd probably say, 'Are you trying to kill me with this?' and toss you a rejection card. That would be epic." How about we order pizza tonight?" I suggested, trying to steer the conversation away from criticism. "Pizza? I'm in the mood for hamburger steak," Gordon declared. "Like Takeo from that family restaurant," Mark added, grinning. Seeing my rare defiance, Gordon's expression shifted. "What's with the attitude? Even I have my limits, you know." Mark joined in on the laughter, belting out the chorus of "I Want You Back." "What's I Want You Back? Don't you know anything?" I retorted, feeling increasingly isolated and lonely. Juliet's face flashed in my mind, and the word divorce drifted through my thoughts. After work, Mr. Smith called me over. "Emma, sorry, Mrs. Taylor," he corrected himself. I smiled at Mr. Smith and said, "If you want to call me that, it's fine." For a fleeting moment, a forgotten thrill washed over me like a love song playing softly in my mind, but I quickly pushed it aside. Life isn't that sweet. It rarely goes according to plan. As expected, Mr. Smith wanted to discuss work, not dinner. "Actually, there's talk of our store making a TV appearance. It's a show where family restaurants and delis showcase their signature dishes, and a chef judges them." "I know it well. My husband and son watch it regularly. The theme is lunch combos, and there'll be an internal tasting session to choose who represents the store on TV. We're thinking of having you, Emma, take that role." I was taken aback and immediately declined. My husband and son criticize my cooking every day. Mr. Smith paused to think, "Do they ever leave food on their plates?" "No, they always finish it. I have a friend who, no matter how good the restaurant, always says, 'You're satisfied with this? I know better places.'" "Really? Maybe Gordon and Mark are like that. We need someone who cooks every day. Would you consider creating a menu for us?" The responsibility felt overwhelming, and I hesitated, but a part of me longed for the challenge. I wanted feedback from people other than Gordon and Mark. So, taking the plunge, I crafted a lunch combo. The company's top executives tasted it and unanimously approved my dish. While my colleagues were thrilled, I felt a mix of shock and resentment toward Gordon and Mark. Despite their daily criticisms, everyone else loved what I made. I couldn't understand why they belittled my cooking. Was it all just for fun? Furious, I left work early and stopped by the city office, not mentioning my selection for the TV show to Gordon and Mark. Tonight's dish was shrimp scampi. For some reason, there were 2 cards on the table labeled pass and fail. After tasting a shrimp, Gordon and Mark exchanged glances and simultaneously raised the fails card. This is clearly a miss. I'm disappointed in this shrimp, Gordon said. Were they pretending to be judges? Was it amusing to mock someone? I snatched the cards and confronted them. You both fail as a husband and a son. What's your deal? I'm sorry for serving you bad food. I won't do it again, I said, glaring at them. I had reached my limit with their constant negativity. I placed divorce papers on the table and announced, I'm filing for divorce. Wait, you can't just, Gordon stammered. I've waited for 25 years, I can't wait any longer. 25 years? Okay, maybe not exactly that long, but I've been patient for the last few years. I can't take it anymore. I'm leaving this house, I declared. Gordon, taken aback, tried to laugh it off. It's kind of like a camera, right? That's an old reference. Where's the L in camera? He joked, pretending to search for the letter. Mark warned him, Dad, she seems serious. Really? I affirmed, resolute in my decision. Congratulations, you won't have to eat bad food anymore. In a whirlwind of change, I quickly moved out and began living on my own. Juliet's support was invaluable. Free from the burden of my thoughtless husband and oblivious son, I could focus on my job. Perhaps when life shifts, many things start to change. The company asked me to appear on TV. No way, I can't do TV. You should get someone younger and prettier. That's how it works, I protested. Most people only get one chance at TV in their lifetime. While part of me was eager, I was worried about how I'd look on screen. The show would have the chief judge ask detailed questions about the dish, and if I wasn't the one who made it, I wouldn't be able to answer. Eventually convinced by Mr. Smith and the executives, I reluctantly agreed to the TV appearance. I didn't tell Gordon and Mark. I had blocked their calls and had no intention of reaching out. Of course, I confided in Juliet about the upcoming show. She was shocked and exclaimed, I want to be on it too. With teary eyes and a nervous heart, I appeared on TV alongside Mr. Smith. It was my first time, and my heart raced as I watched the stern-faced chef silently taste my lunch combo. I felt like apologizing before the judgment even began. This bolognese has Worcestershire sauce, ketchup, and instant coffee, the chef remarked. Finally, it was judgment time. I prayed silently as the judges unanimously raised the pass card. They praised my dish as delicious and perfect. I high-fived Mr. Smith, blushing with joy. I hoped it wasn't a dream. After that, I got involved in product development and received a raise. Was it luck that everything turned around after escaping a rude husband and a sarcastic son? 3 months after the divorce, Mark visited the store. He had bulked up like a football player, which surprised me. What happened to you? I asked. I've been eating out a lot lately, he replied. Before I knew it, I looked like this. Serves him right. It's probably karma for mocking the food that a top chef praised. I thought to myself. I saw you on TV, Mark said, his voice filled with disbelief. I shrugged, saying, oh, please. Come back, Mom, he pleaded. Grow up, you're 25, handle it yourself, I shot back, coldly. If you don't want to be with Dad, learn to be independent, don't come here again, I spoke firmly, shocking Mark with my resolve. He left, and the next day, as I placed an umbrella stand outside the store, a massive figure approached. Emma, who are you? He demanded.
Don't play dumb, I replied. It was Gordon, but he had gained a significant amount of weight. Because of you, I've been eating and drinking at pubs every day. Before I knew it, I couldn't move. You have no right to call me that anymore. Gordon tried to laugh it off. Emma, please come back. At this rate, Mark and I will turn into Crusher Blackwell. Crusher? What? You don't know who Crusher Blackwell is? He was a 215-kilo wrestler, Gordon explained, his jokes devoid of any real remorse. I don't want to waste my time talking to you. Please leave, I said firmly. Despite my harsh words, Gordon persisted. I apologize for everything, truly, he said. I remained silent. Your cooking was always amazing. My mother told me never to praise someone too much. If you keep saying something's delicious, they won't improve, Gordon continued. Wait, where are you going? He called as I retreated into the store. To my surprise, he followed me inside. Wait, we were in the middle of a conversation, he protested. I have nothing more to say. If you persist, I'll call the police, I warned him. The police? Gordon looked around dramatically. Why bring the police into a marital issue? We're not married anymore, Just give me one more chance. Please, he begged. Please leave, I insisted. Just then, Mr. Smith emerged from the back. I've called the police. Maybe you should leave, he suggested to Gordon. Who are you? Gordon demanded. I'm the manager of the store. Why are you intervening in a marital dispute? Mr. Smith replied. We are not a couple, he clarified, gesturing between Gordon and me. I get it now. Is that why you divorced? Are you two together? His rude insinuation infuriated me. What nonsense are you spouting? I won't tolerate this, I snapped. Is it true? Is that why you're so upset? Just then, a police car pulled up, and two sturdy officers entered. That's the man, I pointed at Gordon. What are you talking about? Gordon protested as one officer tried to restrain him. He resisted, yelling, Let me go! She's my wife. I don't know this giant, one officer said, bewildered. We'll discuss this at the station. The other officer was equally taken aback. Had Gordon become so strong as a wrestler? Overwhelmed by jealousy, Gordon's face twisted into a terrifying scowl as he grabbed one of the store umbrellas. I was taken aback, but Mr. Smith bravely stepped in front of me, arms outstretched, trying to defuse the situation. Are you showing your true colors, you ho-head? Gordon shouted, raising the umbrella to strike. An officer from behind forcefully knocked it out of his hand and grabbed Gordon's wrist. You're under arrest for obstructing official duties, the officer declared. Obstructing official duties? The police's signature move? You think that solves everything? Gordon spat. Just come with us. As everyone on the street watched, I felt my face burning with embarrassment. The commotion continued as Gordon was forced into the police car. How embarrassing. Are you okay? Mr. Smith asked. I'm fine, thank you. If you ever need help, just let me know, I replied, grateful for his comforting words. You're very kind, Mr. Smith remarked. I'm not kind to everyone, I added cryptically before he left. Maybe it wasn't a misunderstanding after all. Since that day, neither Gordon nor Mark visited the store, and I finally found peace. After 26 years of marriage, I was free. I could have lunch with Juliet whenever I wanted and enjoy dinners without worry, even if it meant returning to a dark apartment. I never felt lonely. My work was fulfilling, and being valued by the company felt incredible. One day, Mr. Smith approached me. Emma, do you like musicals? He asked. Musicals? I love them, I replied enthusiastically. I got 2 tickets. It's easy to watch a movie anytime, but a play has a fixed date, Mr. Smith explained. Memories of my youth resurfaced, and my heart raced. Maybe it wasn't a misunderstanding after all. I would love to go, I said, smiling. Great, I'll take the tickets and go with a friend, Mr. Smith suggested. What? Just kidding. How about a nice dinner afterward? He added, seeing my relieved expression. Life is unpredictable. Now, I'm embarking on a second youth.